What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Entertainment Channel, where I talk about everything sports from a Chicago sports fan perspective. And today I got to talk about my Chicago Bulls, man. What a crazy week it's been. Last video I made last week, we're 6-1. In only a week, how fast things could change. We're now 6-5. The Bulls dropped their fourth straight game tonight, losing a crazy one to the Detroit Pistons. Detroit was up almost the entire game. Bulls got it to within 3, but they ended up losing it anyway, and Detroit was without like 7 of their best players. No Cade Cunningham, no Jalen Duren, no Tobias Harris, pretty much nobody playing for Detroit, and the Bulls still ended up losing. So got to get into that, talk about 4 things that I've learned during this 4-game losing streak. Probably things I already knew, but maybe 4 things that just been solidified. But without any farther ado, let's get right into it. All right. So like I said, man, let's get right into this Bulls loss, man. It's been an interesting week. I mean, it's been an interesting season so far, if you really want to be real. I don't think anybody thought we would get to 6-1. I definitely didn't. If you checked out my IG story the first week the Bulls were going to play, I'm like, yo, we might not ever win a game this season, but I'm still going to watch every game. Then somehow we inched to 6-1. That was last week. Then we dropped the game. Last Tuesday, we beat Philly. So we were, that was a crazy game I was watching. We had the buzzer beater at the end to win that game. Philly in Chicago. Then Friday, the Bulls went up to Milwaukee. Quick little drive up 94 to Milwaukee to play in the in-season tournament. They dropped that game 126-110. On Saturday, they drove to Cleveland, another division game. They dropped that one 128-122. Then Monday, Victor Wembanyama, just an alien, absolute freak of nature. Bulls wins to San Antonio. It was a game we should have won, really. Wemby at the end turned up, had 2 pull-up threes right in Vucevic's face. The Spurs ended up squeaking one out that the Bulls really should have won on Monday. Then today, Wednesday, they make that little trip up to Detroit. Detroit's without 7 rotation players, with primarily the main one, Cade Cunningham, not playing tonight. No Jalen Duren. No Tobias Harris, no Thompson twin. I mean, you go through that whole lineup, they're missing almost everybody. And they came out and were just smacking the Bulls around. Let me get that. Let's pull up the box score real quick, because it got embarrassing really early. I'm like, yo, we're really about to get dubbed by the Pistons. And at first I was like, all right. I didn't honestly even look before the game, like who's playing, who's not playing. Then once I turned the game on in the first quarter, I was like, yo, we're getting killed right now, man. Pistons are really solid this year. Then I start realizing, wait, nobody's actually even in the game, which is, that's what I was expecting. This is the type of shit I was expecting from the Bulls this season. I'm not going to lie to myself. I wasn't buying into any of the hype that was happening. I know Josh Giddey's been out the last 2 games. He was there when we played Milwaukee. He was there when we played Cleveland. So let's not even talk about that. But today, let's take a look right here. 124, 113. Let's see if, there we go. You zoom out a little bit, then they show you all the quarters. So you take a look up here, right off the rip. We're down by 12 in the first quarter. Should not be something happening. But the Bulls have been like a relatively slow starting team. And tonight, with no Josh Giddey, offense look a little bit discombobulated. You got Trey Jones playing 30 minutes out there. Dude had, 11 points, 5 assists. So he's a solid player, solid guy to set up the offense. Not really a shot maker or a shot creator. Then you see this. We'll start with Detroit first. So Detroit just killed us, man. Duncan Robinson, first year in Detroit. You remember him if you remember the Miami Heat. You're an NBA fan. The Heat have played the Bulls almost like every year in the play-in tournament. So Duncan Robinson, we've seen him before. He goes 7-10 from 3, 23 points. Paul Reed, man, he gave Vucevic the work. He had 28 points, 13 rebounds, 6 assists on 84% shooting from the field. Like, I don't even understand what goes on in Vucevic's head every year when you're on Twitter and people are like, yo, Warriors got to trade for Vooch. Lakers got to trade for Vooch. Everybody apparently has to trade for Vooch every year. But games like this is exactly why nobody actually trades for Vooch, because this is what Vooch does I would say half of the season. He lets a guy like Paul Reed give him 28, 13 rebounds, and then Vooch to combat that, not even in foul trouble or anything. Dude has 6 points and 6 rebounds tonight. So absolutely unacceptable from arguably, at least tonight, should be your best player offensively. Dude only gets off, 10 shots, makes 3 of them. So this shoots like shit from the field. And it's kind of what you expect from Vooch if you're a Bulls fan. Like, when I see him play good, I'm surprised. When he shoots like shit, plays like shit, I'm like, all right, there's the Vucevic that we know. And it's a game that we kind of have to have, that we should have. He kind of comes out, does absolutely nothing, and just sets the tone like that. So you let Paul Reed put 28 points on your head, 13 rebounds. Some guy named Dennis Jenkins comes out with 18 points and 12 assists. Then Karis LeVert, he's at least an NBA veteran, somebody that we've seen put points up. He had 17 points. He has 5 assists. So that's how you know everybody was moving the ball around Detroit. For Karis LeVert to get 5 assists is absolutely bonkers. And for him to shoot 72% from the field. Karis LeVert's kind of like he reminds me of Ben Gordon back in the day. Dude could score 40, but he might take 30 shots to get there. That's why he's been bounced around the league so much, even though he's such a good scorer. You remember him coming out of Michigan a few years back, way more than a few years now. But you got just a wonky starting lineup here. Like Javonte Green, former Chicago Bull, he's starting. And I really like Javonte, really great bench player, great for energy, not really a starter, not a starter on a team that should be whooping our ass like this. But shout out to Detroit, man. They're much improved this year. Trying to see if we could get a glimpse of like who didn't play, because I know they'll throw that in here. Where are they at? So they don't. Oh yeah. So you take a look right here. Like 10-2. They had no Cade Cunningham, no Jalen Duren, no Tobias Harris, no Asor Thompson, no Jaden Ivey, and they just came out and mollywopped the Bulls. You got Paul Reed giving 28 points and 12 rebounds or 13 rebounds on Vooch's head. And they just beat us up, man. We came back, outscored them a little bit in the fourth quarter there, but just couldn't do enough. Detroit now 10-2. They're on an 8-game winning streak. And in Chicago, we're just going in the opposite direction. 6-5, 4-game losing streak. And it's definitely where we probably expect them to be as Bulls fans. Talking about the Bears. Bears won. We'll drop the video for the Bears tomorrow. But back to the Bulls. 6-5. They're now 1-4 away. And that's something that I talked about in my last video was, hey, we're, 6-1, but we're 5-0 at home at the time. Now we're 1-4 on the road. So you see that we haven't even won a game on the road since the last video came out. And you're relying on people like Okoro's got to score 15. Matas, which I'll talk about that. He's still got 21, 14 points tonight. And then Kevin Huerter, 20 points. Then a little bit of everything from everybody. But, there's some things I'm watching the game and I'm like, Vooch's trade value is just absolutely plummeting. So if there's anything for sure out of this game, it's that we're probably going to be stuck with Vooch. You remember a couple years back, I remember we traded for him. I was like, all right, this is kind of filling out. We got DeMar, Zach LaVine. You get a big guy where Vooch has to be like your 3rd or 4th best player. I think that's the best position to put him in. But as this guy tonight, basically the lead, just comes out with a dud. 6 points, like 5 rebounds. Like I don't even understand how that truly happens when you're in the NBA. And he just comes out flat a lot. And with the team right now, like the Bulls have, really the only backup big we have is Jalen Smith. What's his face? Zach Collins still out for a while. So you need a lot more from Vooch in those moments. And talking about how bad he's been playing, these are his stats during this 4-game losing streak. So Vooch, kind of an underperformer, I would say. He's been an Eastern Conference All-Star before. That was back when he was on the Orlando Magic. But Vooch, man, his trade value is absolutely plummeting. You see right now during the 4-game losing streak, 10.5 points per game, 6.7 rebounds, 37% field goal percentage from the field, and the Bulls are 0-4. So I will say 3 hard opponents. You got the Bucks, you got Giannis, Bobby Portis, Miles Turner. Then they did play the Cavs. The Cavs do have Jared Allen, Evan Mobley. Then you play against the Spurs. They got Victor Wembanyama. They even have Luke Cornett. But a game like tonight, man, against the Pistons, you're going up against the backups pretty much. You got to come out and get more than 6 points, man. And I think that's what really holds back Vooch. So I think trade, we need to get rid of him. Trade value going down like crazy, and this 4-game losing streak kind of calls that out. When he's up against those elite players, those elite teams with the defense like the Bucks, like the Cavs, like the Spurs, he's really nowhere to be found. I mean, can't really rely on him too much. I mean, it's crazy to think tonight he got 28 points and 13 rebounds on his head by Paul Reed. So Vucevic, trade value just absolutely going down, man. And I don't know who's going to want to take him off our hands. Probably nobody. And if we do get rid of him, it's probably going to be for nothing. So Vooch, man, you got to step it up out there. I get those last few games, the Bucks, the Cavs, the Spurs. These guys, those teams have big men. They got legit 7-footers, 6'10" guys that can guard you that are better than you. But tonight, absolutely no excuse. Paul Reed should not be outworking you like that. Should not be out rebounding you. Should not be getting more shots off than you, getting more assists than you. He let Paul Reed have the game of his life on him tonight in Detroit. And to me, that says a lot about his competitive nature. You'd think like, yo, these last 3 games, I've had my work cut out for me. We haven't played since Saturday or since Monday. Like, I got a day off. Like, come out tonight. I'm going to put up at least a double-double. Came out absolutely flat. So I wanted to talk about that as too. 4 things that I've learned. Let me get this off of there. There we go. Gotta look you guys right in the eye. Man. So there's 4 things I've learned during this 4-game losing streak. Number 1, Vooch's trade value is absolutely plummeting. Dude is playing horrible over the 4-game losing streak, averaging 10.5 points, 6 rebounds, 37% from the field. The second thing I've learned, Patrick Williams, dude is a waste of money. Getting paid like $90 million over the next few years, and dude just absolutely does nothing good on the basketball court. Scared to shoot the ball, not aggressive at all. Third thing I learned, Matas Buzelis needs more plays called for him, man. I get this motion offense we're running, but at the end of the day, you got to develop your best players, and it doesn't seem like it really call any plays for Buzelis. We need to get that going. And the fourth thing I learned during this 4-game losing streak is the Bulls have absolutely zero plan. We were getting lucky as fuck, getting to 6-1. Now we've dropped 4 games in a row, and you kind of see what this team actually is. A bunch of pretty much nobodies that don't really have a future in the NBA. A couple of rotation players that should be on the teams. Then you got Buzelis, the young guy, getting really no looks, no action. Just kind of let him score when he can on transition, this and that. So I'm a little nervous, guys. More nervous than I was at the beginning of the year because we're at 6-5. So it gives people that false glimpse of hope. Organization gets to lie to us and pretend like there's something to do that we're somehow competitive by like some type of design, which we know that's absolutely incorrect. So that's the 4 things I've learned during this losing streak, man. 4 things I've learned during the losing streak. Number 1, Vooch's trade value is absolutely plummeting. Number 2, Patrick Williams, the biggest waste of money we've had in a Chicago Bulls organization in a while, probably since Felicio. Number 3, Matas, he needs more plays called for him, man. I get running the motion offense, but please give Matas a chance to develop, run some plays for him. Let's see what we got. And the 4th thing I've learned is we just have zero plan. GM, ownership, front office, no plans to get better besides just make the play-in, do what we've been doing the last 4 or 5 years and run it back. We'll make a D-Rose fucking 20-game package to sell tickets. I get the marketing efforts there, but right now we're in the dog days, guys. We're 11 games in to the NBA season, and I'm already just kind of over the Chicago Bulls team. I get people like Giddey, blah, 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 blah. He gets triple-doubles, this and that. I don't think he's like a winning player. I hate to say it because I really wish he was somebody to build around. But I think Matas Buzelis, that's where we got to put all of our money in. Matas, get the money, push it in. Dude's like 6'10", athletic, can do a little bit of everything. Maybe he's not the best player on a really good team, but he could be, I think, one of the top 2-3 players on a competitor. So let's get that out there, man. We got to see what's coming up soon. I don't even want to waste time talking about this game tonight. It was more just my opinion on what's happening, what's going on. We got a tough, not even actually a tough schedule coming up. We're going to be going up against, where we at? No. Bulls, I think we got the Jazz next. So if we can't beat the Jazz, what are we doing? What are we doing here, guys? Yeah, we got the Jazz coming up. We're going a little West Coast swing starting this weekend. So a long little layoff. Today's Wednesday. We don't play again until Sunday in Utah. Then they're at Denver, at Portland. So we should be able to get at least, I would say, 2 wins out of that. Denver, definitely going to lose. At Utah and at Portland, definitely could pull those W's off. So we'll see what happens. But just not a lot of excitement coming up, I would say, on the Bulls side. I mean, this is kind of who I think we are. We're a basic 500 team. We're going to almost make the playoffs, probably make the play-in, and that's due to teams being horrible this year compared to these last few years. So just buckle in, guys, because we're in for a long-ass season and not anything new. So if you're in Chicago, let's hope the Bears can keep winning. They're doing really well. I'm going to make a video about that tomorrow. But let's just put all your money into the Bulls or into the Bears because the Bulls, guys, it's probably over. It's over. We're 11 games into the season. Hope is lost. And you think like we wouldn't even be in this position. Boston Celtics, they're without Tatum. They got rid of Drew Holiday, got rid of Porzingis, all that. They'll be back in the mix. The Pacers, 1-10. They lost Halliburton, got rid of Miles Turner. They'd be up there. So, I mean, realistically, I hope we fall out, man. This is a year where you want to make the lottery. Like, please just give us a lottery chance. I'm so sick of making the play-in, barely making the playoffs. Like, that shit is such a waste of time. And I hate being like, we got to tank, we got to do this or that. But you're so much better just losing and sucking than building this, like, mediocre-ass NBA roster. So that's all I got to say about this fucking game. I'll see real quick. Let me see. I thought I pulled some other stuff up. I think I did. All right, that's all for the game. That's how you know the game was asked. No stats or anything that we even want to talk about. Matas Buzelis, double-double. Shout out to him. Run more plays, please. But the second thing I wanted to talk about, and these are the trade rumors. You know, NBA, if there's nothing happening, there's always trade rumors. There's always talks. So I'm sure you guys have seen rumors picking up. Dallas Mavericks, they got rid of their general manager, Nico Harrison. So, of course, people are like, trade Anthony Davis. What are they going to do? So Twitter rumors going around like crazy. Anthony Davis might be on the trading block. And a lot of people are talking about him coming home to Chicago, his home team, the Chicago Bulls. So I saw this proposal, which I think is a little more foo. I don't really buy that one. Then there's the more legit, I would say, and his Paul Reed right here gave Vooch that work. Where'd I put that? Bookmarks. So this is probably more realistic. Zach Lowe used to be on ESPN. Now I think he's just like solo, living it out there. Shout out Zach Lowe. But this is the trade proposal from Zach Lowe. Let me know what you guys think. So Bulls, we'd be receiving Anthony Davis. The Mavs would be getting Kobe White, Nikola Vucevic, Portland first-round pick, and the Bulls first-round pick. So not too much, I would say, like in terms of it. Then you getting back, pretty much you look at that starting lineup, Giddey, Ayo, Okoro, Matas, AD. Not bad. I think better than what we have right now just because I like Anthony Davis way more than I like Vucevic. But Vucevic is also available way more than Anthony Davis generally is. So if you ask me, it's a hard one here. On one hand, yes, you get Anthony Davis, better player than anybody we currently have. On the other hand, what are we going to do if we have Anthony Davis? What is this core lineup that they have listed out here of Giddey, Ayo, Okoro, Matas, Anthony Davis? Is that really much better than what we currently put out on the court? Like, yeah, on a day-to-day basis, Anthony Davis, overall, yes, he's a better basketball player. Does everything better than Vucevic. The only thing he doesn't do better than Vucevic is actually be available to play games. So if Anthony Davis could play games, we know he's not going to miss, hell yeah, I'll take him. But given his track history, given what we know about him, he doesn't stay healthy. Dude gets hurt, gets injured all the time. So last thing I want to do is give up more assets for a guy that is an unknown, somebody that stays hurt, that's always injured. Dude gained weight over the offseason, which is crazy after they got rid of Luka for supposedly gaining weight and not being in shape. So that says a lot to me about Anthony Davis. He didn't even come into camp in shape this year. So realistically, I see the rumors going around, should the Bulls trade for Anthony Davis? And my simple answer is no. Availability is the best skill you could have right now in the NBA, and Anthony Davis is never available. Yeah, he's better than Vucevic in every statistical, everything better, but Vuce at least plays. Anthony Davis is always gone. So imagine we get rid of Kobe White and Vuce, and then we bring in AD, and he just barely ever plays. Now what? We're relying on just Jalen Smith and Zach Collins. So I guess in terms of the upside, AD obviously has that upside over Vucevic, but in reality, AD's always hurt, man. It'll sell tickets. It'll get people in the seats. So that's why I think the Bulls would do the trade. So one thing is, would the organization want to trade for AD? Yeah, because it's not going to cost us a lot, not as much as it would in the past when he had that higher trade value. Should we get him? I say no, just because he's not available. Even if he is available, what really is, look at that starting lineup. 0 shooters in that entire starting lineup. Barely anybody can make a three if that's your starting lineup. So Bulls looking out there for updates, trying to see what they could do. But long story short, I don't think the Bulls should trade for Anthony Davis, man. I think it's kind of a mediocre move, only because I know as a front office for Chicago, they're going to get Anthony Davis and just do absolutely nothing after that. So long story short, don't do it, guys. Anthony Davis, save yourself the trouble. Unless you're going to force Jerry Reinsdorf to like bring in other stars and actually win, I know you're not going to do that. So Bulls, just stay away. Let's just suck this year. Please Just try to like not make the playing game. Just tank. See what could happen. What could go wrong? I mean, only time we've ever been good is Derrick Rose and Michael Jordan, and both those times we were a top 3 pick. Top 3 Michael Jordan, top 1 Derrick Rose. So if there's any advice I have for the Chicago Bulls organization is, and I never thought I would say this, just tank this year, guys. You guys suck at everything else. You guys have been drafting like shit. You acquire shitty free agents. The only time we've ever won and got good players is when we got lucky and got D Rose at number 1, and when we got lucky and Michael Jordan fell to us at number 3. So Bulls, if there's anything, just do nothing. Just suck, fall to the bottom, which is the top of the draft, and just pray that whoever we pick ends up the next generational talent for us, because we all know Jerry Reinsdorf, the organization, you guys aren't doing shit. Nothing strategic, nothing smart, besides trying to get butts in seats and make money. But let me know what you guys think, man. Bulls, I think season's over. No, we should not trade for Anthony Davis. Let's just hope that the owner sells a team, or that we just end up with a miraculous draft pick. But that's what I got for you guys tonight, man. If you're here still, you the real one. Make sure you hit a like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. That's what I always forget to say in the videos, is the things that matter. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think. And remember, when you're on the entertainment channel, you always got to go crazy. Don't be doing nothing fugazi, and don't be going lazy. No, that's all backwards. When you're on the entertainment channel, you got to go crazy. Don't be lazy, and don't be doing nothing fugazi. Deuces.